Boys, today is Friday. It is July 26th. And if you watch my last trade recap, you go to the last 15 seconds, I'll tell you, or you'll see that I told you my outlook for today. And that was this break of structure right here to the upside. Given the 4 hour time frame always holds power, we rely on it. And that's the main thing from today. Clearly, if you look back at the previous times of the market, you can see, damn, uptrend, downtrend. What would you want to be alongside the trend, right? But the way I trade, I just take little increments out of the market and I make some bread with it. So we use the 4 hour to start the day. We're on NQ. We have a 4 hour break of structure that determines us bullish. And so here's market open right here, 9 a.m. candle right here. Boom. With that being said, you can see that we have a imbalance. The 9 a.m. candle open invalidated this imbalance. But what do we also have? If we draw EQ from these lows to these highs, we have, I want to say, yeah, okay, whatever. I was gonna say it might be on ES where the EQ is gonna be a little cleaner. Regardless, we have equilibrium right above our imbalance, which initially what this means is if we catch an entry within this imbalance, that means that our entry is in a discount. You can see, yes, price came below it and price went above it. So from swing high to swing low, for measuring from here, it gets disrespected at this bottom fall through. Regardless, it's just something to keep in mind. So you'll see the green line on my chart quite often. When you do see a random green line, if it doesn't say TP, it's equilibrium. So what else do we have in the market to watch for? We have Asia. Let's double check this. Part of Asia lows and actual Asia lows right here. Draws on liquidity. Boom. What do we have as well? We have London lows sitting within here on a lower time frame as liquidity as well. So we have our higher time frame confluences. What was I sending out to the Discord? I was telling us to watch out for this tiny little imbalance within here, because that is our point of interest. If we see the market reject this area, we'll continue down. If not, we're going to invalidate it like we did. We should see the highs get pushed towards. And it's really as simple as that, just being aware of what's around you, right? So the 1 hour, we're waiting, market opens, we pull into our confluences. Excuse me. When the market does pull into our confluences, what are we supposed to do? Scale down. Okay, so here's market open, 9:30 a.m. We dump, we fuck about. That's all we done. We literally, dude, sitting here this morning was actually low-key hell. We ended up, actually, I'll get ES was my first trade, and then I took an NQ break-even trade out of here, I'm pretty sure, which ended up getting stop break-even, as you can see here. And then I'll get to the actual setup. So the key thing is when we're seeing this chop, we need to understand that the market will move in a power of 3, right? The accumulation, manipulation, and distribution happens everywhere on every time frame, no matter what. It's ultimately how the market moves, because you don't see us not sweep either side of liquidity and make the right move. In this case scenario, we swept pre-market highs and we swept market lows, we swept Asia and swept London. So it was a really mixed bias on this lower time frame on the 5-minute. But when you scale out to the 1 hour, to the 4 hour, you can see that, well, we didn't break structure to the downside. We swept this liquidity and we continued. You see that now in hindsight. Here on this candlestick, it came all the way down to here. If it had closed below this liquidity line, that would have meant we would have had to break a structure to the downside. Market would have been bearish. So I was telling Discord, watch that for that 4 hour imbalance, because if we get it closed below, we're going to have some issues. Bias will flip. Regardless, what are we seeking when we get into the 5-minute? I was very inconfident in this trade, and the reason being is because of this previous session chop, or this AM chop. Disgusting fucking price action, dude. So, but what are we waiting for? The textbook, right? The absolute textbook. We get, boom, a break of structure on the 5-minute, which in reality wouldn't even be there. It would be here on these equal lows, but we'll leave it be. We get the break of structure, and I'm waiting for y'all to think about it. Perfect, you thought about it. We get this imbalance right here. And what do we get here? An inverse bullish imbalance. Boom. We invalidate the bearish imbalance and we still have the bullish imbalance. That's a beautiful, beautiful setup. And now from here, what are we looking for? We're waiting for a 1-minute respect of that 5-minute confluence, aka a break of structure out of that zone. What do we get right here? Move down, move up, break a structure, because that's a high. Boom. That comes out. Let's clear this 1 hour imbalance. You can see that break of structure is out of our imbalance. What are we going to do? we're going to fucking smack down a long position. And in this case scenario, stops below the imbalance. I originally had my stops to here just to give the trade some room to breathe. When we started chopping about and I knew that this market was really choppy, I was like, I'm going to mitigate my risk. So I brought my stops in. And I also brought one position to break even, which ended up getting stopped out. Totally fine. With that being said, so this is the trade. And what were we targeting, you may ask? Cool. Let me show you. You see right here at this 8:30 mark, we had news come out. So we created a data high. And that is ultimately our target. This is what we targeted. It was a beautiful fucking trade. That was our target. Boom and done. Out on this candle, and that was it for the entire day. We so that was the last and most recent trade, the actual trade, the proper trade, the trade that was supposed to be taken in AM, but it was not given to us. So that's that. And we'll just look at the NQ chart real quick. As you can see, exact same type of setup, break a structure. Oh, I didn't cover the SMT divergence, but it's all not that important because on ES you can see we're making a higher low, and on NQ we made a lower low. Along with these three dojis, we were bound for a reversal. Sellers lost control, and buyers took over. This is our first TP, and this is our second, and that's the only thing I think I missed. So yeah, that's about it for NQ. Let's go into ES real quick. We'll chart up the 4-hour ES. What do we have right here? Boom, break the structure. We're bullish. Enough said. On to the 1 hour. We have the exact same setup here. So what do we have? We have Asia lows. Well, Asia lows, liquidity, and then we have London lows sitting within this area. We'll just mark them here. London lows, and then we have an imbalance. And this is going to be literally the exact same as NQ. And here is where we get the really clean respect of the imbalance, the London lows, and the equilibrium. So what are we looking out for? Like I said in the other pair, we need to see this imbalance be closed above. You can see we rejected here hard and came down hard. But clearly our point of interest is these highs. So we continue to close through it. And I told the Discord, if we reject this, we're going to come down. Watch, I'll show you how far we went down. It was crazy. And NQ went even farther. So with that being said, we're waiting for our 1 hour confluences to get contacted. Boom, they're contacted. What do we do? Scale down to the 5. Now that we're in the 5, where's market open? Right here at 9:30. We're looking for a break of structure. This does count, but what are we missing? We're missing every type of confluence. We have no entry confluence after giving a break of structure. So forget about it. Doesn't really count that much. And here is where we pushed up into this imbalance, and we, in one candlestick, puked all the way down here back to this imbalance to pick up more buy orders, I would assume. From there, what do we get? We're waiting, which was the right thing to do. We weren't very good at waiting. We tried to take an entry from, let me scale into the 3 minute. We tried to take an entry from here, and we got cooked. I'm pretty sure this was our entry. On the way up, yeah, we got cooked. 1 minute, let me find the imbalance. Yeah, so we took this entry out of here, and our stops were below the imbalance. No, sorry. No. This was the trade I took out of here. I took this trade from this halfway point with stops outside the imbalance, TP to the first touch of the bearish imbalance, and you can see we came down a lot more, and then we ripped up and got it. Regardless, still a good day in my books because there's just nothing we could have done about that one. We weren't expecting the extreme chop that we did end up getting. As you can see, chop, manipulation, chop, even more chop, and then we slowly get a model. So that was the loss. NQ was the dub. Let's finish this how we should have traded it. So that ultimately is just the trade recap in itself. Now this is more of a market recap. We have a leg up, leg down. What does that mean? That's a significant point in the market, how high, and we break structure to the upside with these two candlesticks making this a higher high from this high. That's a break of structure. What is followed by that break of structure? Boom, an imbalance. That's our third confluence. So we have our higher time frame confluences, a 5-minute break of structure, and a 5-minute third confluence. What are we waiting for? Scale down. We are waiting for a break structure to the upside, and that's it. We get the break of structure plus a 1 minute imbalance, enter off of the respect, targeting these highs, and stops within here. GG's. And even if we were here, if we entered early, we were still fine within this imbalance. As you can see, we did not close fully below this imbalance, right? Stops just below the imbalance, and G fucking G's, boys. So that's a market recap for Friday, and we absolutely tore ass. Don't get me wrong; it was a really good day besides the chop. And I've been noticing that when we do get the chop, we normally get my models a little bit after AM session, which is just what we waited for. And yeah, that's about that. And I hope you all have a blessed day. And I'm gonna get this uploaded to y'all ASAP. Love y'all.